Okay, the 31st and the 32nd degree constitute a body called the consistory. You may have heard there are four bodies in the Scottish Rite, 31 and 32 with the consistory. If you think about the hero's journey, and we'll talk a lot about this as we do Masonic education and Scottish Rite education over the next year, you think about being removed from your circumstance, reevaluating, morphing, growing into who you ought to be, and returning. These two degrees represent the final return, and they are coming up right now.
This degree presents an allegorical representation of the final judgment, common to many world religions. It is portrayed within the context of ancient Egyptian mythology, which shared many similarities with the Judeo-Christian religions. As in other degrees of Masonry, you are instructed to look beyond the mere symbol and to discover for yourselves what you can learn from the lessons presented. We do not assert the reality of the Egyptian gods, but see in them the personifications of natural forces and cosmic events. Whatever religious truths you may ascribe to them personally is your own concern. At the very least, they are actors in a great play, attempting to convey the lesson that we are accountable for our actions. Perhaps the most important lesson of this degree is that the strong who easily resist temptation are less deserving of reward than the weak who struggle to overcome. To rise and fall again is more heroic than by greater strength never to fall. To do wrong and make amends, to sin and repent, belongs to a nobler nature. Being human, we all err. Those who hold different opinions entertain them as honestly as you do your own, and you have no right to doubt their sincerity. No man is truly wise who is not kind, courteous, and charitable in his construction of other men's motives. Remember that you represent the order, that you must maintain its dignity and glory, preserve its constitution, and act by its laws. You are ever to bear in mind that what the letter of the law does not prohibit is often forbidden by generosity and decency. Now, brethren, hear what you shall hear, and attend the 31st degree, Inspector Inquisitor.
Okay. The name of this degree is Inspector Inquisitor, and who are you to inspect? Yourself. By this point in the Scottish Rite journey, you should be able to critically look at yourself and your own actions. And critically means to critique, not to criticize. This degree is framed in a couple of parts. The first part, Christian missionaries or archaeologists are discussing whether or not these temples have any merit or value, religious merit or value, moral merit or value, and the young archaeologist argues that they should be torn down and replaced with churches. The older archaeologist advises him, no, there are archetypal instinctual truths in this and all religions. And the next scene is a court of the dead, handled in the typical Egyptian fashion by the pantheon of gods. When performed, it's very interesting. An individual candidate is brought up, asked that battery of questions, so he will be bluntly asked by the court, have you taken advantage of somebody for this? Have you violated the chastity of a girl for your own cardinal pleasure and no other reason? And a whole variety of questions. ISIS, of course, records all. Osiris presides. At the end, your heart is weighed against a feather. And if your heart weighs more than a feather, that's very bad news for you. If your heart weighs equal or less than a feather, that's good news for you. The primary lesson of this degree, though, is that an individual who struggles hard and does not always succeed but gets back up to do the right thing is probably more admirable than somebody who never had any struggle at all. One of my favorite quotes from H.G. Wells is, "If you fell down yesterday, stand up today." And that's one of the primary lessons of this degree. It is one I would recommend earnestly to your study, and I would be most happy to help you do that or help you find materials on it. Thank you. Okay, that's the 31st degree and the last degree I'll communicate. You will receive the 32nd degree. This will be my last chance to talk with you all at this reunion. Again, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be with you. I look forward to meeting each of you, and we'll be touching base with each of you to see what you enjoyed, what you liked, what you have concerns about, or if you have any questions. There's a prominent Gen X Mason who, while on a radio interview with some anti-Masons, described Scottish Rite this way: "We give you the college degree, and then we hope you go back and take the classes." And I think that's pretty right, and I think that's probably what you saw here. I do hope you'll go back and take the classes, read these degrees, see them again here, see them in other places, see the degrees that were communicated to you. This, like most everything else in Masonry, is a function of what you put into it. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. I believe just everyone who is active in the Scottish Rite in Topeka is ready to help you and wants to help you on your journey through this. So